Alright, so here it is, the all-in-one briefcase. I guess you call it a kick drum. So, first things first, I took some old tom legs off a shitty old tom, and I mounted the mounts on the side. I have an old broken piece of something off of a case, that's to tighten my music stand on. I put a piece of brake line to snap this into so it won't rattle when I'm kicking it, and I can still carry it to and from the car. This post here is to hold my looper, and then of course another tom leg mount, and have my wonderful father fabricate me a kick pedal mount that's bolted on the side so that the pedal will stick on it. So that's pretty much it. She's an old Samsonite. Alright, let's have a look inside here. See what we got. So there it is, all packed in there. Of course, this is just an old crappy hi-hat that I use as a splash. There's the two tom legs that go on to keep it from tipping over. And the third tom leg I will use to somehow mount this cymbal. This is, oops, got that caught on there. So this is my snare, I guess you call it. I don't know what you call it, but little piece of angle iron on there with a felt top. There's a snare wire behind this old license plate from the beautiful place of Ontario. And I bolted only the bottom on, so the top will move on and off the board. And on the back I had this old crappy tom mic. I thought if I mounted it on there and pointed it up here, I'm going to hang a few beer caps maybe on the back of the license plate. Those are easy to come by. Alright, so here is the pole that goes for my looper. So that would slide into this. It's mounted inside, and then it just screws on there. And then I guess I better show you my custom beater head. So this is an old Pearl kick pedal, and I took an old mallet and I pulled the head off of it. I cut the back off of it and I mounted it on there to give a nice thud when it hits the case. Anything else other than a nice heavy mallet head or a rubber Indian rubber ball or lacrosse ball here in Canada probably won't sound very good, apparently. I have two more pedals in here that collapse down. This pedal will at some point be a mallet to strike this cymbal for a little splash. So that will go beside here. And of course this pedal here, I have mounted an old brush onto the beater bar, and on the end of the brush I took old, basically these are fishing line weights, and I crimped them on there and dropped a little piece of solder on there to make it a little heavier. So so when this does get on here and strike it, it's got a little bit more strike to it. And lastly, inside the case, mounted to the bottom, is a mic stand, and this allows me to, this is my other case with my looper and stuff, pull out the kick mic, stick it in there, close up the case, so the kick's mounted in there perfectly, and then you slap your pedal on and go from there. Alright, so this is my looper and vocal and guitar processor. TC Helicon, it's a beauty. Voice Live Touch 2. I have a little Switch 3 with it here. And I made a nice case to carry it around in. So that's the purpose of this post, is it snaps onto that post there. Of course you can see the pedals are all latched up now. I've got the tom legs on it. which help it from tipping over and give it some stability. And then you can see I've latched this handle down tightly into, this is actually a piece of brake line. Tom mic mounted on the back there. As you can see, the snare wire, and then the brush that I've modified. And so I just have this foot pedal that would go beside here for looping purposes. And then I guess and I have a music stand that goes in there. And this hole tightens up, and then so it's a little and then I'll be able to have a little mallet hit this once I get that mounted. So if you have any ideas on how I should mount that, that's my little one-man band setup. Of course, I play guitar and sing vocals, and I try to make it interesting. Lastly, I wanted to mention for the mics, for wiring purposes, I am going to have the wire to pull out of the case here, pull directly out of the side of the case, so that I can actually have a little sort of patch bay on this side. And then out of here, I'll just be able to plug in, and it will plug in both the snare mic, if you call it that, and the kick mic inside the setup. So anyways, just wanted to show you that, guys. And once I get it mic'd up through a PA, I'll give you another sound sample, and keep on rocking in the free world.